Hello again, everyone. 皆さんこんにちは。Today I'm gonna put on this Kitaco Aero Visor. It's a Kitaco Aero Visor. The instructions come like this. It's all in Japanese. So any of you guys in other countries seeing this who don't read Japanese, there's pictures here. It's pretty straightforward. I don't know if you can see that, but follow along with me today and you'll see how to install this thing. I'm looking forward to getting it done. 海外向けのキタコのエアロバイザーのインスタレーションっていうテーマの動画を撮ろうと思っています。説明書を見ると分かると日本語や海外の、日本語できない人はそれを見て、映画あるからなんとなく分かると思うけど、ちょっとなんやこれと思う人がいるかもしれないので、今日はほとんど英語でやりたいと思います。よろしく。Let's get going. So I've got the instructions and all the parts laid out. What you need for this is a 12 millimeter long box wrench to get it off, to get the nut off. It's rather difficult to get to, and you need a torque wrench to put it back on, set to 27, what's the unit they use here? Not foot pounds, the other one, NM, I don't know what it stands for. You need a hex wrench, Allen key to get the front bolt off, and then you need probably 10 millimeter or 8 millimeter socket for the hardware that comes with this, and probably a set of gloves wouldn't be a bad idea. Anyway, let's get going. Alright, so I'm going to start from the right side, and the first thing we need to do is loosen the bolt that's on the opposite side of this. So you have to follow that down and under here, and you can find the bolt here. But these are in the way. These are just from the throttle, so you can undo those with this little clasp here. Trying to do this with one hand isn't so easy, especially so you can see it. But if you just finagle it around, it'll both come out and you can get them out of the way like that. And then we have access to this bolt. If I said that was a 12 millimeter, it's actually 14. And we're gonna try to get this off here. The thing is moving. All right, I'll be right back. Actually, I had better luck using the torque wrench and a 14 millimeter socket than I did with this. This slipped, so I thought, shit, I'm gonna strip the bolt, or the nut rather. But in any case, as you can see, coming off now slowly but surely. Right, now the one on the left side, you can see there's nothing really in the way here. You just have straight access to the nut. So this one should be a lot easier than the other side. The other side was really cramped, kind of a pain in the ass. Anyhow, here we go. Okay, next step is to take off these two hex screws. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. So that's all the hardware you need to remove before you can start putting the visor on. Not so bad. The nuts are lock nuts, so they're a bit of a pain in the butt to get off. But in any case, on to the next step. The next step actually is to pull this whole assembly out and then set it somewhere. Because I didn't disconnect everything, and I didn't think to bring a towel, and I don't really want to set it on here, but I probably don't have a choice. Let's see how that works. Right, so when I pulled up on it, it came out pretty easy. And on the bottom side, you'll have these two grommets that'll fall out and they'll end up on the ground someplace. You don't want to lose those because they go on the opposite side here. These are actually the same kind of things, just these go in this way from the bottom. And I rested it carefully on here. It's kind of tricky to get balance. You don't want it to hang. What did I just say? Tricky to get the balance, right? So you don't want it to hang over because it'll stress the cables or it might scratch this. So you may want to put a towel on there, says the person who didn't do that. But anyway, on to the next thing. We have to mount these two brackets, and these two holes will go up here, and then the holes on the front that you can see will mount at the top of the headlight. Whoops, at the top of the headlight. So I'll get that done and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so learn by mistake. These two rubber grommets have to come out and then get seated in these holes here. Then you put the brackets on and then you seat the whole thing. Otherwise, the nuts don't match. They don't match up, they don't mate. It doesn't reach. All right, so I got it all back together. Well, not all back together. First, I loosely attach this so that there's some room. This has a little bit of play. And then you can swing this in from the top in this kind of motion. So it comes from the top and goes over and then goes down. And then you have this grommet that has to go. Sorry about the one-handed jiggly nonsense, but yeah, not so easy. This has to go in here on the nut. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Oh, that's great. And then we got to put the washer on. The washer will probably fall off with my luck. Yeah, it's gonna fall off. So there you can see the nut is on it, the washer is on it, and the rubber grommet is on the top. Now all you have to do is tighten it up, 27 Nm, whatever that is, and it'll be good to go. On the right side, when you tighten this up, whoops, I found it was easier to run the cables on top of the wrench and tighten it up bit by bit this way. Just an idea. Maybe you can find an easier way to do it, but for me, that's it. There's not a lot of room to work in here, really. Probably should take off the fairings to do this, but the instructions don't say to do that, so I didn't. Anyhow, right, now that's tightened up, I'm gonna reseat these in a little clippy thing here, which is easier than taking them out. So there you have it. Sorry about the fingers there. Next step is to tighten down these two, I think it's 5mm hex nuts. The next step is to attach the visor holders, which are these two parts here. This is the left one, this is the right one. See that the flange goes towards the inside. And you also need to put these rubber coated thingies inside the holes here, like so. And here they are attached. So you can see that the bracket stays on the outside. The mount goes on the inside. I chose to pull it all the way forward. This one should stay a little bit loose if you want to adjust the angle later. Please pay attention to this. This goes on the outside and the bracket that moves goes on the inside. I put it on backwards first before I looked at the manual and realized, oops, did it wrong. But in any case, it's done. So on to the next step, which I believe is mounting the actual visor onto this part. All right, that's it, done. I think I'm gonna adjust it because I don't like it so upright. The last step is to put on these 4 screws. Oh, look, you can see me in the reflection. Hello. The screw though, I want you to see this. There's a rubber washer and then a normal washer, and you have to put it on like that. Otherwise, this is gonna tighten down and crack the windscreen. So the rubber washer goes under and the normal washer goes on top. Sorry, that's out of focus. fucking dumb shit. 4 of those. And you want to tighten it down so that, can you see where my shoe is down here? You want to tighten it down so that you can see a little bit of the screw itself. Let's try this. Hello. All right, no, it only wants to do that when my finger's in there. Fuck. Hello, focus please. So you want it to do that, and you see how it bulges, this rubber bulges down here at the base? That's how you want to get that, so then you know that it's tight. But you can see it real well on the top one here, yeah? See how the rubber is there? That's how you want to tighten it down. Right, so I adjusted the angle. Seems a bit more raked now instead of standing straight up. Kind of like the look of that. A little bit dusty. Static electricity is pretty nuts. Anyway, kind of like that. Nice mess in the background. Sorry about that. So I'm very curious to see how this affects the wind, because the one thing I noticed the most about riding this as opposed to my old bike, which was an NSR 250R, that thing you rode with your stomach against the gas tank and your head down basically, so there was no wind resistance. I mean, it's a freaking race bike, yeah. This one though, the position is totally different. For one, the handlebars are higher than the seat. The foot pegs are pretty much straight down under where your knee is. There's not a back step. And the riding position is quite different, so I immediately felt how much wind I was getting. So I really wanted to get a windscreen on this just to see if it makes any difference at all. Anyhow, I hope that was useful, and I don't know. I'm enjoying this bike. It's a lot of fun to ride. They're really hard to get here. The Honda shops are like, nope, you have to wait over a year, so we're not taking orders. So I got this used, and it cost me over $5 grand to get this bike, because the used market is wacky as fuck right now here. So people in the US and other countries, you can get your hands on these for pretty cheap, but not in Japan. Kind of ridiculous. They're not made here. They're made in Thailand. So anyway, that's all for today. See you next time, people. Thanks for watching.